Beyond the Nozzle, igniting engagement.
Hey guys, this is K-Bill with Social FD. This is another episode of Beyond the Nozzle. Today we're talking with Adam McCoy, or as everyone lovingly knows, as Unkie from Unkie Seasoning. Adam, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really excited about this.
Now, can you introduce Unkie Seasoning to everyone a little bit?
Sure. Well, Unkie Seasonings is a firefighter-owned, multi-award-winning company. We're out of the state of Virginia. I started back in 2020. We've been around for 5 years. We have 5 seasoning blends and 1 finishing salt. And it's just all started, my collection of the seasoning recipes all started back in probably about 12 years ago with our original Elizabeth salt. But yes, we're a seasoning company, firefighter owned. I'm still an active career firefighter. I work for the federal government. I'm a fed fire, and been doing that for about 22 years.
Now, what inspired you to do the seasoning?
People don't know how to season food. Let's be real. People don't. The firehouse is one of the many great things about the firehouse is the cooking. You always have a good handful of guys that can cook. And I was a chef, the main cook for a couple stations in my career. And just working with everybody. When I was with the city, I watched everybody. I learned from them how they would season their food, how they cook. And then I got to the federal service. I started seeing these guys that have served in the military and went around the world and saw all this delicious food, and they were making it, from their time in Japan or Korea or Europe, and just kind of starting to expand on, my seasoning palette is everything's more than just salt and pepper. Sometimes that's all you need, but it's more than that. And trying to learn what types of seasonings blend well with each other and which ones do not. So it just kind of all started playing with that. And that's why I got into the seasoning and being a firefighter and a big boy. And I come from a family of farmers, and my grandmother taught me a lot about cooking, let alone my own parents. So,
Wow. So you said 12 years ago, right?
12 years ago was my official, this is one of my recipes for seasonings. Usually I just kind of throw stuff together. But about 12 years ago, my wife Elizabeth asked me to make a smoky Bloody Mary rim salt for family vacation. And it was the first time I was going on vacation with her family down at the beach. And they had Bloody Marys every morning. And so I was like, all right. So I came up with a concoction of it. Which one's that? That's the hickory smoked salt. Yeah. Elizabeth salt was the yellow and red band one. That was the original recipe for that seasonings. And
I dropped it.
Through the years, we just reduced the sodium in it to make it more palatable for cooking, and we started doing big cooks with family friends, and everybody loved it. And I would say true to that one, it's one of my favorites. It replaced the table salt in my firehouse for a couple of years.
I mean, it smells amazing. It absolutely smells amazing.
It's a nice all-purpose. Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, I mean,
now if you mix it with a salty fireman, you can recreate the rim salt for a Bloody Mary.
Wow. I mean, just truth be told, that Elizabeth salt on popcorn. Just saying. Now,
hey,
you can.
That's how I do it.
Right?
It's got to be good from steak all the way down to popcorn itself. It's the I tell everybody when I meet them at markets and events that have small children's, they're like, well, we just want to get one bottle. What should we get? It's the Elizabeth salt. It's great on everything. Is the gateway to seasonings for kids. My son at 9 years old, he didn't like the burnt piece of French fries because that's too spicy. He thought that was pepper. Oh, it makes it so spicy. He started putting Elizabeth salt on his food, and that just opened it up. With a couple months, we're sitting there messing with Carolina Reaper. He starting loving hot spices. On my nieces, that's how they got started with spices. She's the niece that gave me the name Unkie. She is like a self-proclaimed vegetarian. She just doesn't like a lot of meat. She just walks around with a handful of iceberg lettuce and stuff like that. She just loves it. But she's got to have Unkie's brisket with Elizabeth salt on it. She'll eat it.
There you go.
And she'll put in, and so that's how she gets her meat proteins in there, by just putting Elizabeth salt on it.
Wow.
Gets her right back into it. Yeah.
Hey, when I got it and the first time I cracked it open, that smell, and it's like that with all of them. I mean, the garlic herb, honestly, Thanksgiving time, I've been making the same turkey recipe for like 20 some years. My dad requires me to bring it every year, and it's always a garlic herb. I use rosemary and, a lot of different things. And when I open this up, I put it on some chicken. Man, it's absolutely replaced. It's my new secret weapon for my turkey that I make every year. Like, it absolutely replaced all the different seasonings that my wife, when she had this chicken, she was like, okay, this is what we're using now every year. So, it's amazing. It smells amazing. It tastes amazing. And all the way around.
I've done all the hard work for everybody. I created these recipes. They are my recipes that we pack in these bottles. So, as I tell everybody, all the new rookies that come into the station, it's like, just use Unkie seasonings. Everything cooks at 350 for 30 minutes in the oven. Put that on there. You're good. You're good to go.
Now, you can order on your website, right?
That is correct. You order at unkieseasoning.com. Boom. There it is. I know we still have it up. It says July specials, but we're still doing that. We got only a few of the mini samples left.
You've got a lot. Now, didn't you just get an award?
Yes, we are now 3 years in a row platinum winners of community votes. It's kind of like the best of in this area, and one of the cities. Somebody keeps nominating me, and I let everybody know they voted, and we got it 3 years in a row.
That's wonderful.
The specialty foods, we beat out a lot of nice specialty foods companies here locally.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Now, I'm going to look at some of this stuff here. You got your seasonings here. I'll bring this up so it's easier to see. So, Elizabeth salt, garlic and herb, coastal Cajun, chipotle, fire marshal, buttery, rosemary.
And they're all low sodium, except for the salt-free garlic and herb. And they just came out that way. There's when we set them out for the nutritional facts for them, and they just came back, and I was like, perfect. I'll start telling everybody it's low sodium.
How do you decide what you're going to do with a seasoning when you come out with one? Because the Salty Fireman is relatively new, right?
It is as in full time. We made it probably now. The last time we did a run of it was 2 years ago, and I sat there and smoked like 3 pounds at a time of pink Himalayan salt over 16 to 18 hours over hard hickory wood.
Oh, wow.
And it was so tedious. So we did it for just a little bit. We did little mini bottles of it, and it was a big hit. And we did it for special events where we did it for, if First time it was Smoke on the Mountain in Galax, Virginia. It was a big barbecue competition, and we did it for them to bring us something different to the table. And we did a little bit, another small run, and just past year and a half, my friends, as I like to call them, my nieces and nephews down at the markets, they constantly berated me and harassed me about it. They're like, "We're out of it. Can we get some?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't do it no more. It's just so much time consuming between the fire department and at the time, my twins were just born, and so I was like, I just don't have the time." So now I work with Tidewater Grain that does my bottling for me. So we got our plant set up there, and they take care of that for me. So, and they're fantastic folks down there. Also, one of the owners is a retired firefighter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, the fire service, I love it. 100%.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you a little bit of a funny question.
Okay.
If you could describe who you are based on your seasonings, and you can only choose one of them, which one do you think would best describe yourself? I try to think of odd questions, I can't help it.
Yeah. It just have to be my hickory smoked salt, the salty fireman, because I get a little bit salty around the firehouse.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
It's just, I guess it comes with time. 22 years doing it.
There you go. Now, I'm going to go back to the website real quick because you got quite a bit of options here. That you have the Team Ryan project.
Yes.
Could you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Not a problem. There's the Team Ryan project. We started maybe 3 years ago. That's when I have a small platform now, but I had an even smaller platform where one of it pop up. There it is. That's the page. You scroll down. Team Ryan project started with my brother right there. He's a lieutenant for the local city, and he got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it's from the job. He was on the foam team with his city, and where he fell at was non-Hodgkin's. As we all know, bills pile up. But where he fell, it didn't affect any bones or organs, so he wasn't covered by the state, the cancer bills. So as he was, he got cancer, but he was blessed with not having it affect any major organs. He get no money. So we started raising monies. We took on donations, percentage of our sales. We sold wristbands, stickers, yard signs. Trying to remember else what we sold at the time, but we were able to raise a significant amount of money for my brother and his family to help him out because he was out of work. He was off the floor for like 18 months. But also his local came out and showed up, and they were able to raise a lot of money themselves. So now he's in remission. He's good. He's back on the floor. We decided to keep it going with the Team Ryan project. So we're helping other firefighters. Shortly after that, trying to recall, a firefighter lost his home through a lightning storm while he's at the firehouse in the next town over, lost his home. One of my friends is a former paramedic right outside of Wichita, Kansas, and his whole neighborhood. He's a big social media guy, and him and his wife went to go get ice cream in the middle of the day, and they're watching this tornado go through. They're like, I think that went through our neighborhood. And they went there and wiped it out.
Wow.
So we sent money out there to help him out. He did a lot of raising. We donated money to a local captain that had cancer, which he was one of 5 people that caught cancer from a major incident. And unfortunately, he passed away. He had the worst of it, but we sent money for stuff for that. So even though that my brother is good to go, thank God, we should still to continue to put a little money aside from our orders and money we raise, people donate. And we see where we can help at. And right now, our focus is on operational yell tape with mental health. So, yeah, we're doing that, and that's Lieutenant Kenny Mitchell Jr. He's retired lieutenant out of Chesterfield, Virginia, and he runs operational yell tape, and he's a fantastic guy on the mental health ward side.
No, mental health is absolutely 100% important, especially with first responders. Because I mean, we're all tough guys, in the service, everybody's a tough guy and nobody wants to talk. And I mean, when I started 27 years ago as a volunteer, there was no opportunity to talk. You know what I mean? It was, if you can't handle it, kid, get out of here. That's how it worked. But
famous
now,
phrase, suck it up, buttercup.
There you go. But now we're starting to see a trend. I shouldn't say it that way, but anyway, it's a trend of, I guess you'd say, acceptance, understanding, to where it's like, okay, I know you're going through something. We need to talk, and sometimes guys just don't want to open up to the guys that they work with because they're going to be looked at a certain way, or they feel they'll be looked at a certain way. But the reality of it is we all need somebody, we all need at least one person to listen. So
yeah, we're fortunate. In my, before I moved to this current station, my last station, my lieutenant, he was on our peers team, support team. And at the time I was a junior officer. So I worked well with the peers team and get them out, get them educated and go to classes. And all of our calls, every single call, be it medical or fire, he was like, all right, well, we're driving back in the truck. What was the good? What was the bad? And our station, man, it was truly, it felt like almost like family, like at least a bunch of cousins together, and good and bad. And we talk about the call, where we messed up, what we did good. And then then we did the mental health, especially on medical calls. And we were very fortunate. Our station was quick to respond, as in nobody locked down their feelings and stuff and emotions. We talked about it. We joke about it, do the typical firefighter thing. And me and my lieutenant, we would listen to those people, how they joked about it. You can gauge how bad it upsets them and stuff like that by the jokes they make, And
that's the other thing. Like the general public that don't deal with it, some of the jokes, some of the things that are said after the call is a way.
HRO nightmare. Human resource nightmare.
Absolutely. Because they don't
fired.
understand it, You won't understand it unless you have to deal with it.
And I've said it on the podcast that I've been on, and I said to other people, we can come back from a medical call that a baby had died. There's going to be somebody in the group, if not everybody, we're going to make the classic dead baby jokes. It's just how we do it. It's very inappropriate, but it's the big C word, the culture.
Yep.
We try to joke about it to try to shake it off because we are affected by it, if we act about it or not. Comedians in the car getting coffee. Jerry Seinfeld was talking to Eddie Murphy. So the two biggest comics in the world, right? They talked about their text thread on 9/11, before, during, and after the towers. And they were just big time jokes. Big. And they're like, the material was hilarious, blah, 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 is because that's how they dealt with it. They're like firefighters, the joking around part. They just don't do the physical job, but that's how they dealt with it emotionally. And I was actually shocked that they put that in production, especially those two cats.
Yep.
But I mean, it's just how people deal.
Well, that's having that outlet is important. And there's a lot of different organizations that are doing some good work. And it's just like anything else. You find the one that works for you. Just don't stop finding. Don't stop searching. You know what I mean?
Oh yes.
If it doesn't
I go
work
to
here,
therapy
go there.
and I love it.
What's that?
I go to therapy and I love it.
I mean, it's a way to get it out. You know.
Mhm.
So
my 5 tips, if I can remember all 5 of them, for doing therapy is, first off, you might have to go every 2 weeks so they can understand who you are and understand your story before they can start working on you. And your therapist, if you don't like that person, change. They don't mind. They understand you have to connect with them. So they don't mind if you bounce around the office and there's nobody else in that office, then they'll recommend somebody else, another firm to go to. Always keep 2 appointments on the books, because life happens, things get busy. If you can't make the first appointment, you're going to forget to reschedule. In a sense, you don't have to worry about it because you got the second appointment coming. So but always keep 2 on the books, and that will kind of they'll force you to make sure you go. And like right now, everything's good. I still go to therapy. I feel good. Nothing's happened, thankfully I'm dealing with everything, but I still go every month, because when something goes sideways and I need to speak with my therapist, I don't need to wait 6 months to get on their books. I know, well, I can deal with it for a week or 2 before I can, my next appointment. And it's the greatest thing. And have a relationship with your therapist that you can shoot them an email. And I can do that with my therapist. I missed my last session, and we got a relationship where if I miss it, I give her a quick little deets what's going on. I had a rough time with this, or everything's going good, this, and this, have a nice day. And she'll respond back to me, because she wants to make sure that I'm still squared away.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. You may not think you need it now. Like, okay, I went to therapy. I talked. I'm good. I'm going to move on. No, just make that something that you continuously do, like you said, because when something happens, you don't want to start the conversation all over again.
Oh, yeah.
It's an opportunity. You know who they are. You're talking with them. You have a relationship. And it's just like anything else. It's visiting an old friend. And you don't have to try to relive everything just to get to the point of where you are now.
Yeah.
No,
it takes a long time, at least for me, because the department I work for, being the federal government, we're a lot different in our organizational pyramid than cities, and a lot of people don't understand the fire department. So when I bounce around through therapists trying to find one that I clicked with, it gets you feel defeated constantly, just trying to start your origin story over and over again, because you just don't want to talk about it. You only want to talk about it once, and you're telling it over and over again.
Yep.
But it's just, I don't know, man. The benefits for it just weighs out so much. And I just absolutely love it.
Now, on the site, too, you have par check.
Par check, yeah.
I'll bring that up real quick.
Yes. It is. This, my friend, we worked together for a little bit at one of the local bases. And he did some time over in Italy as a chief and as a captain, and a chief in South Carolina. And so that's Derek Fisher, faithful, accountable, and teachable. That man, talk about mental health. He's always checked on my status, like we do par checks. He's always kept up with me, never gave up on me. And, helped me earn my degree in what we call FAT University, which is being faithful, accountable, and teachable. So the par check, this is the design he came up with a couple of years ago. So he's got more designs on his personal website. So he's given me these shirts. We got together last year and did our own single run for these. And there's I'm trying to think. You should keep going clicking. There'll be a card of the pictures. Yes, and that comes in there, and it tells you the message behind it. It talks about how we have a par system. Tells you how you are, what's going on, and it's more deep in that. And we should always do a par check with your friends. We don't have to do it over the radio on a fire scene. The group of firefighters I'm with, we haven't talked in a while. Somebody will send out par check. Then everybody starts responding. This is what we can do. Where you at? I'm at home today. I'm at the firehouse. I'm at the grocery store. I'm doing this. I got this going on. And it's a quick way for everybody, at least in our group chat, to check in on each other, see what you're doing, see what you've been up to. And it's real quick.
I mean, Snapchat seems to be the perfect platform for that, because there's a bunch of different Snapchat groups that float through our firehouse. And one of them is that. You just got a bunch of guys that are tough guys, right? And through different types of messages or weird little images or GIFs, you kind of get the idea of how guys are, and you can hit them on the side, And I think it's great. I'm going to check this out. I saw this the other day when I was doing some research, and I stumbled on that card, and I'm going to take a look at it even more. But yeah, that's cool.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, we're talking about social media. I mean, that's what Social FD does.
Mm-hmm.
We have a platform that helps volunteer fire departments to post on Facebook and all that stuff. We also help them with websites. We don't charge them anything. That's why we're a nonprofit. But
very nice.
What social media platform has helped Unkie Seasoning get the word out there the most?
It would be, I hate to admit it, it would be TikTok. So I have no problems with it. But it's really, TikTok and Instagram. Those two have been the best. TikTok for me, I haven't in the past, in the past couple of months, really hasn't posted nothing, because they keep going back and forth of, we're going to get rid of it, we're not going to get rid of it. And even when I'm sitting there trying to do YouTube stuff, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which I need to give that up, and all that social media content and everything else, that's just under my platform name, not along with those things I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's so overwhelming. And I was just like, oh, yes, TikTok's going away. That's one less platform.
Right.
And so I just stopped focusing on it. But that was my big buildup. My beginning of starting the business was TikTok, doing little videos. None of the dances. Did do some silly stuff. And that's how I met my inner circle core guys. You have Fireman Freddie, East Coast Kelly's, Doug Bishop, and Matt Rolfe, and Fireman 1231 Nick Hammond. And that's how we all met each other kind of separately. And then we start introducing other people into the group.
Right.
And we all just, and it all blossomed.
You got to build your circle. And
yes.
So just so you know, the Cool Fireman podcast, you're on there.
Yes.
I watch, listen. I have for a long time. I just like in the shadows, you know what I mean? But when I went to FDIC, I'm going to show this picture. I ran into you guys. There you are. There's Doug, right?
Big City Doug.
Big City, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you guys were just like super cool. You know, we walked up, I talked to you for just a minute. I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm trying to do. And you guys are super welcoming, you know, super kind.
I wish I had more time to chat with you, because Like I know I was busy trying to build boxes, but also a man behind the scene of the burn box is John. And I was with John while the guys were working the booth and working the floors and meeting everybody. I'm with him at the warehouse doing, sitting on the learning tree with him.
Right.
And just doing all kinds of stuff. So and I get there and I'm just mentally wiped out. So I apologize if I was short.
No, not at all. FDIC is like that for everybody. It
is wild.
It's rough, but that was that's positive interaction. Have you ever had to deal with negative interaction on social media where somebody's calling you out on something or a post or whatever? Like how would you deal with that?
Well, it depends on, I know you're asking me. Certain guys in our podcast, one guy, he would goes after him. He's like, he's the dog on the front porch. And we had to reel him back in because some people will say some like unprofessional stuff and their username or tag or whatever is something in the fire, they're a firefighter. And we're like, it's not appropriate for you to say that and represent the letters FD somewhere or FF anywhere in your name. It's inappropriate to publicly say it. Now, privately, like you said, joking on the truck, coming back from a backhaul, that's one thing. But you're putting stuff out, certain things out, using even offensive words and stuff like that. I don't really want to repeat them. They're just bad words. It's like, why? I mean, so there's negatives. And the other one is me and Matt, especially Matt. Matt will just fire back with kindness. He lays it on thick. He's like, well, I'm so sorry that you feel that way.
Right.
And because he knows it sparks engagement and the algorithm of comments, likes, and stuff like that. So if you're just nice to them, they're going to get mad. You're going to walk away, which you kind of hope they do. But most of the time they don't. They'll fire something back. Then you fire something nice back. And it lays out a detailed map of how big of a idiot or jerk they are.
Right. Well,
but
you mentioned algorithm, and it's also PR. Everything you do on social media. Service. Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. I have ADHD, so please bear with me. When you wear something that's fire department related, or put the FF or FD in your username, you're not representing specifically your fire department. You're representing the service.
That's right.
Okay. Everything we do in the fire department is PR. Everything. When we're at this intersection, just riding between calls or going to get dinner, we got the nice clean truck. There's going to be some kid looking at us, waving. We're going to honk back. We park the truck, mind our own business at the grocery store. Kid comes up and goes, hi, fireman, I want to see the truck. What do? We don't tell him no.
Right.
It's immediately, unless we're on a call, we immediately drop everything we're doing. I'll show you the truck. And if we do have a call, you're like, if you hang out for a couple minutes, then I'll show you the truck.
That's right.
Everything we do is a public relations, and everybody needs to pay respect for the people before us that made us what we are today in the public eye.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why the cops get the finger when they're driving around, when people drive by, and people wave at us.
There you go.
And it's not because of you in your career, your 20-something year career, or me. It's people like my father and my uncle and the great ones before us. It's because those guys paved the way for us to get waved at and, be the loving PR fire department that we are.
They built it.
Yeah.
They built it.
And we gotta pay respect and not do this slandering crap on social media.
Well, that's like, okay, I'm in my volunteer department here at home. We all have the T-shirt, the FD, you know how that is. We have a very strict rule. Anything that has our fire department logo on it never is to enter a bar. Ever.
Ooh.
Ever. And if you're found to be in a bar, now we don't care if you drink or do whatever, right? I mean, that's your life.
Yeah.
when you walk in with that shirt or that hat, you're identifying and you're making us look a certain way. And that's been unacceptable forever. And if you do it, well, you're going to have to deal with it. But yeah.
And that's understanding. As a union officer, we love to look at case laws. And one gentleman, he was not in uniform by any means, except he had a baseball cap on. And he went to the uniform shop to get some uniforms made. And he made inappropriate comments to the tailor while she's dealing with his inners. And so his fire department wrote him up, charged him, whatever, tried to process him through HRO. Said, it was inappropriate, blah, blah, blah. We don't stand for it. $0. You're terminated. So the union immediately challenged it and said he was off duty. How can you charge him for something that he's off duty? So it went through all the boards and courts and whatnots, and was ruled he was still he was off duty, but he represented that fire department by wearing a hat.
Yep.
So he represented the fire department. That he was associated with the fire department. By looking at him, he's technically will be charged as if he was on duty.
Yep. It's important. So. It's just like social media and all the different platforms. What you say, now you may not be saying I'm a part of this fire department and this is what I believe, but if they click on your name, they can see most everybody puts that on there. Like I'm from this department or I'm employed at this department. Well, now you just tied that
with the shirt.
Yeah, you just tied yourself back to that fire department, and how you're acting is representing them and everyone on that department. And that's why I was talking about the good and the bad and the ugly with social media, is when you have those trolls jump on there and try to get under your skin and turn up the heat, it's very important how you handle that. Like you said, kindness, understanding, but you're building that story in that line, and you're showing the community that you're serving or the community that you're trying to get the word out to how you actually are. And it's important. Yeah. It's very important, because you see all too often, and it plagues the volunteer fire department world. I'll just say it that way. The only time that they post is a pancake breakfast or a raffle or a big fire, and they don't hardly post all the time. Mm-hmm. But when they do, you'll see other members of different fire departments on different sites bashing a video they saw, or second guessing everything that someone did in that video, like a coach, like a Monday, what do they call
Monday
that?
morning quarterback.
There you go. Yeah. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're not doing anything other than dragging everything down that, like you said, guys have built for hundreds of years in the fire service. And I don't understand why it happens. But so, yeah, kindness works. Kindness is the best way.
In the fire department, when people Monday morning quarterback, like even we do it at my station, we'll sit back in the back of the bay or where our couches during shift change. And be like, hey, this is what happened the other day at this station where they did this. And my crew, about as humble, we try to be as humble as we can be, because we know that we're going to be sitting in that seat one day. And nobody's going to see what we saw through our own eyes. And there's 1,000 ways to do one task in the fire department.
That's right.
And people got to be open-minded. So my way of doing something plus your way of doing something, it's going to be somebody's going to take only a portion of that and make their own way of doing things that works for them.
Yep.
Scenario changes. We all know things can go sideways really quickly, but just because that's your way and my way are different, I still want to learn your way, because I might come in a scenario where I do need to do it your way. And everybody's got to be open-minded and a little humility.
In our bay, we have a cable reel, the old wooden big reels, and we got our logo on it, and it's the round table. That's where the world's problems are solved. You know what I mean? That's where we get down to the nitty-gritty. We talk the way our families probably would be embarrassed if they knew we said certain things. But that's where you do it. That's where you dissect the call, dissect the video, talk all your trash that you want to talk. That's where it happens. It doesn't happen in the public. It doesn't happen out in front. You're not going to stand out on the apron hooting and hollering at women as they go by. You know what I mean? You just don't do that. I wish guys would treat social media the same way. If you're going to do that, create a group and do it privately. Don't put it out there because it doesn't look good. I mean, you make yourself sound bad, you know?
Everybody thinks they're protected through being anonymous, and especially how fire stations are run these days and with human resource and everything, that they feel so protected. But, you know, somebody still can catch you outside, off duty, off base. And that's why some people are pushing for bring fist fighting back to the firehouses. Have you seen that stuff?
Have the old woodshed put back there. Yeah. the way it was when I went through so many years ago. Yeah. If you had a problem, you just handled it then, but you know, it's a little different now, I guess. It is what it is. Now, you know how important social media is for not just your department, for the fire service, but also for your business. What do you think fire departments should do with social media? Like,
I was just talking about it today with my captain while we're out moving trucks around. Because he doesn't see it because he lives in the city. I live in a county where we have volunteers and they volunteer firehouses. And out of my county, I follow 3 out of, I don't know, I think 8 of them. And 2 of those 3 that I follow, they post stuff. And not only, hey, the barbecue weekend's coming up and fundraising stuff, which they should, but they post stuff like, you know, good job on this incident. You know, there's a fire, or, hey, there's a major accident over here. And they'll put a publicly safe photo up there, nobody's face, nothing, of the incident, and say, hey, do not travel in this area. This is what's going on. We'll let you know when the road's clear. And I like that because working on a military base, we work for the commander of the base, right? That's the boss. That's the president of the world to us. We work for him. That's his physical fire truck. He owns it. He lets us drive it around. And I see that same way with all the fire trucks, really. You know, that's mama's car. You're going to take care of it. You know, you treat it right, make it look good. But I like, as a citizen, to see those trucks out there.
There you go.
You know, because that's what I paid for. I didn't pay for them to sit in the back parking lot getting dusty and stuff like that. You know, I want to see my truck that I paid for working, doing work, going to the grocery store. That's fine. I want you out. If you're willing to take it out in public, take it out in public. You know?
Absolutely. Well,
I want to see what I pay for.
That's also PR. Seeing the truck, seeing the guy in waving. On my department, we drive around. I'm in a small town. We drive around. We pass out popsicles. Just when it's hot out, we get a couple guys meet at the station. We'll drive around, hand out popsicles. It's important to have that engagement with the community that you serve, because when they're wanting to call upon you because they have an emergency, it helps them be more comfortable with you when you answer the call, for one, and 2, when you want them to show support and you want them to come to that firehouse for that pancake breakfast. They know how you are and they're comfortable with you because they've been watching all along. Now, you may not know it because you're posting it. You don't see nothing. Maybe nobody likes a post or comments or anything. But the reality is you're being seen because it's out there. And it's kind of what we try to do, is to make it easier for these departments to have that interaction and engagement and show them, hey, you may not have the guy that understands how to do it, but we'll help you get there. You know, it's not hard to do.
I think it's a fantastic tool, especially for smaller communities, smaller volunteers and organizations, because the days of every 2 hours, you know, nobody fights fire like the big boys. FDNY did back in the war, the Harlem Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Every 2 hours you're pulling a baby out of a window in front of hundreds of people. We're not doing that anymore. So this is another way, especially in the county area and small areas, to show, hey, we had a small little brush fire over here. We put it out and have the truck in there with your logo, stuff like that. They're like, yep, that's my station. My station that did that. They put it out. They worked that wreck.
Yeah.
This is the new way of doing PR, public relations. When you're out with the popsicles, ask them, say, hey, do you mind if we take a photo with you? Do it.
Yep.
Big thing this year, lemonade stands. Firefighters visiting lemonade stands. Wow. Not only you're doing something nice for somebody else, you're bringing an attention to their lemonade stand and to their cause. Yeah. Local city here, they had some jerk stole the kids' money right in front of them. So it got put out. So the local fire station went down there, took pictures and posted it. Next thing you know, they were taking turns. The city's very large. So the farthest truck is about 45 minutes away. They took turns. All the trucks, all the apparatus coming out there and getting lemonade from this kid. Let alone police department did it and the citizens. And it's all started because one fire truck saw the story, showed up, and put it out there.
Well, like our local high school, when any team or a band or any group, when they're doing something extraordinary, winning a championship, going to a championship, we escort them out of town and we escort them into town.
I love that.
We go to the school. When they all get off the bus, we have the big truck sitting out there. We take a picture with the whole team, some firemen with the truck. It's just a tradition. The kids look forward to it. It's good PR for the people in the town. And it also sparks that interest in the next generation.
Yes.
We have to keep it growing. We have a hard enough time getting people now. If we don't continue to grab the attention of the younger generation coming up and show them, you don't know what a screwdriver is, but we're going to show you. Don't belittle them. Show them. Because if we continue to destroy that, we're not going to have very many people left in the fire service, So
exactly. And we talk about going out to stuff for the football team. That's, in a sense, the fire department, almost part of your job. You're serving your community. You sign up to serve. Yeah. You want to go, honk the horn, drive around, honk the horn, wave at your girlfriend, put the wet stuff on the hot stuff. But it's a package, and with thousands of layers of being in the fire department. Like, you sacrifice a lot. Time, your family, your mind, your body. But for what? To serve your community. Everything's under that umbrella. Serving your community and being at the local high school, being at a local middle school, doing stuff like that. That's what you're doing. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what it's about. That's why we do what we do. It's more than a shirt, right? It's more than a title. Titles.
We try to tell everybody on the paid side, it's more than a sticker.
There you go.
We all know what that sticker is.
There you go. Yeah. Now, with these fire departments, some of them, I'm speaking of volunteer mainly because they're the ones that don't have the funding or the manpower to have the social media or have the website constantly updated. A lot of times it's because they don't want to put their business on social media. They don't want to deal with it. They don't have time for it. Do you have advice from yourself of what a good outreach could be to start? Like, first of all, should the fire department be posting online, and what type of content do you think they should start with?
I definitely think a fire department should be posting, because you said serving the community. You're a public agency, you're volunteer paid, whatever. You're an agency of your county, your city, your town. You should post. If you have, nothing but like 70-year-old guys in your department, I understand that social media is not your all's thing, but there's somebody there that knows how to. maybe his girlfriend, wife that's kind of involved, but maybe not a firefighter that can help out. But there's always going to be, look around in your meetings. You're going to find somebody playing on their phone where you're conducting business.
That's it.
Tap into that.
That's right.
It's putting them on the spot like, hey, I see you playing your phone. I already know you got a social media presence. You know how to play it. You know how to do TikTok dances. So, hey, how about you do this for us? Start talking to them. Got the younger generation there. You may not have a lot, but you have one or two that's out there. They can get them to post stuff. Let them be like your point of contact. You and me went on, worked a little brush fire. Well, I know to see little Jimmy pictures and let him know the information.
There you go.
It was on this road, this time. This is what we did. Shoot it up, man.
Now, earlier you mentioned public safe pictures, and that's very important. That's very key to these posts. Don't put the license plate. Don't put the victim, the patient, right?
Yes.
Try not to have too much identifying things of the vehicle. If it's, the home, all that stuff. You got to be very careful. Usually,
trying to make that picture as generic as possible, except for your logo.
There you go. Usually the truck door open, the skyline, maybe the tree, that type of stuff. You don't have to show the call.
Yeah. You take a picture of even the police car.
There's departments that have a default image, their logo comes across and it says, accident or fire, brush fire, that's
a great
enough.
idea, especially if you don't catch a photo. You have that as a backup.
Right. Yep. That way you're not putting things that shouldn't be out there.
Yes, I've heard it happened in my county. Somebody was traveling through another city and the local news reported on it, and the identifying marks of the vehicle, as a couple of people commenting, their family found out that their loved one was killed.
Mm-hmm.
And like hours before the police department was able to make the notification and stuff. So it was just, you got to look at that. That's the big reason is, little Jimmy, if he passes away doing whatever, we must give it the respect to the next of kin.
Yep.
To find out in the most peaceful way possible, instead of like 1,000 people calling them, find things online. Same thing, people's burning the house down. And it goes back to the, do you take the picture? That campaign, take the picture campaign.
Absolutely.
And we had that debate on our podcast every once in a while for a couple minutes. And so like, what is your opinion about take the picture of the big job?
100%. 100%. Because when I first got on, I've been a volunteer forever, but when I was 18 and I got on, I wish some of the guys that I served with on that old department, I wish I had pictures when I was telling stories. It's something to remember people by, not necessarily the call, but that brotherhood. When you are at your lowest point and you walk down the hall in your firehouse and you can look at those pictures on the wall and see how close you were, it helps. That's just me.
Yeah. Just while listening to you, I'm sitting, the guys, when I started my big career, those old salty guys, I was like, man, I wish I did take a picture with them. Just stand side by side them, or just a picture of them.
Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong, a few of them I'd still like to punch, I like to give them a old right hook, but the respect that I had and have for those guys, you couldn't measure. You know what I mean? So, yeah, me,
take the picture.
Take the picture, man.
I say take the picture, but with guidelines.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because that family, oh, the big job. That family is nearby,
Yep.
so they really don't want to see you smiling, laughing, and joking and praising their loss.
Yep.
Just stand together, stand in front of the truck. If you must get, if it's like a significant building, maybe an angle of it. But, and if you do take your picture in front of the whole house, nobody's there, they're on vacation, you take a picture in front of the burning house, don't post it.
Absolutely. That's why I said
Keep
in
it
the
to
hallways.
yourself.
In the
Yes.
hallways. Now, we take the picture, but we do it in front of the fire truck. You might be able to identify the area, but you're not seeing someone's home that they just lost everything. We're not standing out in front, pumping fists and doing that stupidity. Again, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
We do it not for the public. We don't do it for anyone other than ourselves. Because we were there, we were a team, and you definitely don't do it while it's still burning. You know what I mean?
You got a job to do.
Wait till everything's over with, roll your hose, get the truck back in order, and then gather everybody up and snap that shot. But yeah, you don't want to put that stuff out the wrong way. You got to be careful. You're dealing with people's emotions, and you don't want to step all over them by accident, because, like we said before, general public don't understand the mentality of the first responder, and it's important that we remember that. So
Yes, definitely.
because it's like when you're posting stuff online, that's the other thing that it puts me over a little bit, is fire departments post stuff like they're talking to other firemen instead of the fire department talking to the community. People don't understand that cool little music video that you made, but they understand check your smoke detector every 30 days.
Yeah.
You're educating them. You're not making them into firemen. So I don't know. That's just, again, my opinion, but instead of concentrating on the chest out and all that tough stuff, educate the community, show them what you're doing, let them get to know who you are. And
a lot of people don't know, in my area, out of all the paid ones, they're doing at least a 24-hour shift. I think they're trying to do some 48s, but the federal side, we're 48-72. No, excuse me, we're 48-48. So a lot of people don't know that fire departments, that you're there for 24 hours. On average, a shift is 24 hours in the fire service. And a lot of people don't think that. They don't think like, so you got to stay up awake the whole time? No, we have beds.
right.
We try to sleep. People don't know we have kitchens, beds. They think, either we just hang out in the watch office all day and run calls, or we just ride around in trucks. A lot of people think that way because they have not been exposed to the fire service. They haven't had somebody in the family that was a firefighter that invite them up there, So it's, get out there, do simple videos like that.
Yeah.
Also, like cooking videos. Hey,
I was just gonna
the shift change. Boom. You show everybody at the coffee table talking. You can just mute the audio. Then you go, this is what we do. We put our gear in the truck. Now we're going to check off the truck. I'm not driving, but I'm right backwards, but I check out my area. Then I take the trash out. Show them this stuff.
Yep. A day in the life.
I am a glorified janitor. Look what I do.
Well,
Do it. Now it's time for a little breakfast. A little quick little snap in the video. This is what we have for breakfast. Now we're going off doing training. We're doing this. Show and do a series of 24 hours at the firehouse.
Yeah.
Be honest. Or if you go to bed, at 9 o'clock and you don't get up until 6, 7 o'clock in the morning with no calls, be honest about it. Be like, hey, we were lucky tonight. The community, sell it as the community was lucky tonight.
There you go.
We were able to stay in the house and get a good night rest.
Well, you mentioned that people don't know what's going on in a firehouse. You're right. Sometimes I think just firemen are in there sitting there watching TV all day. But the reality is you're training, you're exercising, you're working out, you're doing maintenance on the trucks, you're checking out tools. So in a normal shift, you're still working, just like you would anywhere else. Just the call comes in and interrupts that process, and you go take care of it. You know,
just don't do 24 hours of on a Saturday, the big breakfast and ice cream Sundays and backdraft all day, naps in the chairs.
There you go.
We all know we do that.
Right?
We all have those days.
Right?
Just don't post that.
Just don't post that one. But make sure, if you are going to show the cooking part, have the Unkie seasonings right there on the little counter.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to make sure it's there, and then you tag Unkie seasonings so they can see that video. Just saying.
Yeah, I would love to see those and repost it. I get sometimes you get guys that are not good with social media. They'll just Facebook message me those photos and I'll ask them some questions, and I'll look up their fire department either when they're at a station, and I was like, what's your truck number? I'll put it on that picture and I'll share it. So to help them get a little shout out for themselves.
Now, it's my understanding as well that you like dad jokes.
Yes. I love good dad jokes. I really do.
I'm going to attempt to tell you one.
Okay.
So
let's listen.
All right, here we go. When is the worst time to have a heart attack?
When
you're playing charades.
Nah. I would say choking too.
Right. Hey, I'm just saying, just imagine.
But that's a good one. Yeah.
Just imagine.
Yeah.
You're playing charades, you have a heart attack, everybody thinks you're trying to say, no, I don't know.
I'm going to write that one down.
That's one of those, I wish I had the dun button. It's a dad joke. It's not meant to be funny, right?
Gosh. No, but because it's not funny, makes it so funny.
There you go.
Gosh.
There you go.
All right. That's good. I'm going to, man. The thing is, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
Now, if you tell that dad joke on one of the
yeah.
episodes of the Cool Fireman podcast, I'll be watching and listening.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna know where it came from.
Well, next week we're at Safer. I'll do it then. I'm gonna do the choking.
I have another one. This will be the last one I tell you. You probably heard this. What type of ears does a fire truck have?
What?
Engine ears. That's my favorite.
Good. That's good.
That one's my favorite one.
I will tell the guys on the podcast that, but don't worry. I will give you credit.
Oh, you don't have to give me credit, because if they think it's good, I'll take the credit. If they think it's bad, tell them you wrote it. How's that?
So what kind of ears does
a fire truck have?
A fire truck have? Okay.
Engine ears. Yeah.
Got it.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a funny guy.
I love it. That one's really good.
Now, I'm going to try to close this out a little, because I don't want to take up all. I could sit and talk to you for hours, by the way.
I'm perfectly fine.
I really appreciate you doing this. Where's the best way the viewers and listeners can get more information about Unkies seasoning?
I would suggest going to unkiesseasoning.com, UNKIES seasoning.com. From there, you can order your seasonings, find out what's going on, and down below, as a straight link and view of my Instagram. These are some locations. Hey, look, Real Southern Outdoors. I'm wearing this shirt right now.
Check that out.
I love Denny and his wife. There's some fantastic people down there. And then either at the bottom or top, it has the social media links. There they are on the right.
Yep.
So you can follow us that way. Check us out. Unkiesseasoning.com.
Now, in closing, is there anything that you would like to say? I love that picture, by the way.
It's awesome. So glad we got it.
Me too. Now, just so you know, my daughter, she's in college. Okay. She's the one who took the picture. FDIC. She loved FDIC. She remembered you out of everybody the most, by the way, because
I'm the handsome one.
You were super kind and super cool. But she was in broadcasting. She was going to college for broadcasting, for sports broadcasting, and the more that she's been around the firehouse her whole life. But the more she was around guys at FDIC and been in conversations, she has switched her major now to basically mental health. And she's wanting to get into the first responder side of it. So that's what her major is. That's her direction in life. So I just thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool. So
I try to, when I meet people, I'm always busy in general with life. I don't, ever since I dealt with my mental health and quit drinking, it's been over 5 years. It's been fantastic. I don't like to waste a lot of time. So I'm always busy. As you know, I'm a little last minute on a lot of things because something before it always takes over. And when I meet people at FDIC, SAFER, these fire conferences and markets and festivals, I try to connect with them because I love meeting everybody and hearing everybody's story. So everybody's got some kind of story of their life, and I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing people's backgrounds, and especially even with culture and stuff like that. I got one of my good friends. He's in Hawaii, in Pearl City. He's Samoan and he's Polynesian, or how you want to say. And I'll ask him questions. And when I run into him, I used to run into him all at these union events. And I would just pick his brain about the culture because he was born before it was a state, or shortly after it was a state. So they still had I think I was a queen was the last ruler. So it hasn't changed. Hawaii hasn't changed that much when he was growing up. And I get him to tell. Anyways, I love to hear people's stories about their cultures, their past, who they are, because it's fascinating.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
I just love to meet people.
I like talking to people, and I like doing this. It's a way to get the word out. It's a way to show the general public what's behind the scenes with the fire service brands. I say fire service brands because that's what you are, with Unkie Seasoning.
Yeah.
The fire departments getting their attention on what has worked for some businesses, how to do it, get comfortable with the idea. It's all stories, man. It's meeting people, and I appreciate you doing this episode with me.
Oh, not a problem.
Maybe you do it again.
Anytime. Yeah, anytime. As you already tell, I love to talk. I'll cut you off, but you just got to keep me in the markers because I will. Story starts like this, then I'll go like that.
Well,
then I'll come back to the topic. Finish out.
We're the same. We're the same way. So we don't have anybody babysitting us. It might get worse. I don't know. Next time, maybe we could talk about how we're gonna make a blend for Social FD. Special season blend or something.
All right.
I'm
taking it.
You never know, right?
You never know where the road that you're on will take you.
Now, I don't know if you ever heard the song that I created for you, that I play on our streams. I play this on our streams just about every single night. I only take up about 15 seconds of your time just so you can hear it.
You're fine.
But, all right, check this out.
Yo, it's Social FD, flavor and safety. Let's go!
Unkie seasoning will bring the heat. Firehouse flavors can't be beat. Cajun garlic, chipotle too. Sprinkle that flavor, but safety too. Smoke alarms tested, grills in check. Stay in the kitchen, show that respect. Plan 2 ways out, keep it tight. Cooking with Unkies, we do it right. Unkie seasoning flavor with pride. Social FD, fire safe worldwide. Unkie seasoning flavor with pride.
Unkie,
Social FD,
I gotta say this in closing, my man. Thank you so much for doing this episode with me. Again, I appreciate your time. It was a blast. And we'll talk again, buddy.
Oh yes, because I'm probably gonna need some lessons on how to do some stuff that you do.
Hey, we'll hook it up and we'll work it out. Whatever. I'll be that guy behind the scenes, buddy. But hey,
man, I try to stay fat, man. I try to stay faithful, accountable, and teachable. Always teach
There
people.
you go. Guys, check out unkieseasoning.com. When you hit that shopping cart, use code SocialFD. That's a secret. Use code SocialFD. Unkie, again, Adam, I appreciate you, my man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.